All right. So here we go. And we keep continuing on the writing across of the unexpected. So when you get to the 3-5, you get to adventurism. You have to see that there's a place that where we can have excessive martyrdom. These are people that can really suffer deeply. There's also desperateness to the 28-3. And the desperateness is that they can see how difficult it is to find purpose. And they can see also very difficult how difficult it is to find somebody which is ready to empower them. So they have undefined risk taking. A basic conservatism, but even in adventurous acts, is necessarily imprudent. This is the Saturnian quality, obviously. An intuitive caution in risk taking, and the other side is the perverse manifestation that is intuitive rationalization of risk taking in times of struggle. What happens to the 3-5 in this situation is that, again, because we are in the quart of duality, the first focus is I'm in trouble. I need someone else because otherwise I'm going to get my purpose. So there's a drive in that very cool splenic sense, a drive to find the other. And when you get to the third line, you get to the anarchy and the chaos. You just do. Because you just see right away that if you're an individual and not in any way ready to share, which seems to be the way the collective expressiveness of, you're not able to really support the other because you're not tribal. You're not even ready to make that kind of bond to marry someone or get contracted by them. You're a freak, after all. It's a freak gate. So, one of the things to see when you get to the third line, there can be this sense of desperateness that there's nobody out there that will look into your eyes and see your beauty and your greatness, see your value. Individual lovers are really cute because this is what they do to each other. They say, "Oh, you're a god," and the other says, "Oh, you're a goddess." Now they both feel good. All of these expressions that we have, the nicknames that lovers give each other, and all this stuff is all this empowering game. It's very individual. It's how romance works. And you can see how insular it is. It's coming out of individuality. It's just an understanding that if you're going to fly in the space with somebody and they're going to be in your aura, it's better that you feel good because you're in the aura and they're going to be in your aura. And if it makes you feel good, you don't mind flying in the aura. As a matter of fact, the fact that both of you make each other feel good, which means they can get someplace in your life together. Ciao! Buon trabalho! Eh, As you can see again with that. It can be very romantic. Now, of course, it's missing the emotions that we give an equality. Even with the 41 sitting there coming on feel it's just not there. So what we know about the 3-5 is that they're going to make a leap of faith and they're going to confuse the unexpected. Think about mutation. Mutation is a pulse. It operates in a pulse. Suddenly it's there. And this is the way that empowerment relationships work. Suddenly the other out of there is somewhere out of nowhere. Now, for the third line, that's natural bang into you. Now, bang into somebody. You look at them in the eye, and the Google machine starts working. You're looking at me if you could empower me. And I know that I'm looking at you if you could empower you. And you have the beginning of the potential of the building of passions and romances. So when you get to the 3-5, because of the 5 underneath, that naturally it's unassisted in individuality. It will go on. This is going to be the best empower ever. Yeah, it doesn't work. You know what happens with their reputation, and you know how devastating that can be. And they get to the unexpected, but the negative unexpected, the other side, the unexpected things that happen that you don't want it to happen, that hurt you, and you do suffer, and then you run away. What's interesting about this risk taking is that Saturnian risk taking is that you're pretty sure that you can beat the odds. And your Jupiter risk taking is give it a whirl and you can see what the 3-5 does. It's just based on that criterion. It would just jump into something, and in the current, looking for not so much for the empowerment itself, but the unexpected that can arise out of that. Then we go to the 3-6. We know in this quarter that the 3-6 is well equipped for failure. It's well equipped for the relationship problems. But then again, we've been talking about that in the context of collectivity and tribal activation. It doesn't matter what 3 you are. And if you're a 3-6, well, in the 3-6, it's quite different because it's alignment. But here with the 3-6, we can be very clear about something. They will make yearly mistakes and may never recover. After all, the reason it takes so long for individuals to make consummate their relationships is that they really need to be sure. And remember, they have no bargain. They're not 40-37. They don't have an intrinsic bargain. The whole thing about the relationship is don't ever stop looking at me that way. If you ever stop looking at me that way, it's over. And more than that, because we're dealing with individuals, it's the voice and the words that mean so much. Only individuals demand that they have their love expressed. Only individuals demand that they hear empowerment expressed as words. I love what you're doing. You can't imagine how wonderful and empowering that can be to somebody who needs to be empowered. They need to hear it. It's why individual lovers talk and talk and talk and talk and talk before they do anything. So there's no bargain. And so you fall in love and you offer empowerment and you don't get it back. It's so painful because what it's saying to you is that you're never going to get to your purpose. There are people that the whole question of relationships can drive them mad. They can be so deeply, deeply melancholic, so unhappy because these aren't people that are satisfied with sharing and support. They need that word of love. They need that look in the eye. They need to be seen as something that is unique and special and beautiful and wonderful. Well, you know what's that like. You think what's easy to find anywhere, damn right, they take risks. So what they have to understand is that they're like beings that if they live poverty through the third line process, if they're correct, they won't crash. And behavior that is correct, you always get to what is correct for you. So again, there's a caution here that the 6-3 is over equipped for failure in a sense, particularly obvious in the first 3-year phase. Are you equipped for failure?